Is you is, or is you ain't my eBay? I want a list, make a decent fist of my business eBay. Well, hello eBay, I am back. Well, oh, it's not hello eBay, is it? It's hello YouTube. What the hell am I talking about? Right, okay, well, let's get the lighting right. That'll do. So, hello from the hovel. Turn that down a little bit. That'll do. New lights, by the way. Well, they're not new. We've had them about 3 weeks. Well, I forgot to tell you about them. Anyway, yeah. Welcome to the latest show. The weekly update of how a fat, boring failure struggles through the life and times of listing and selling on eBay. So, little synopsis. We've got the figures, which we'll do in a minute. Then we've got Churchill Does Rock, because I can't be arsed singing. We've got a John Cooper Clarke poem, quite a good one. Then we've got a little bit of talk on best offer on eBay, and is it all it's cracked up to be? Then we have got a little bit about the eBay recipe. And then we've got eBay rules, it's only quick ones a day, chance listings, and lottery style listings. And then we've got a poem to finish about ghosts. Yeah, but before we start, I've already cracked the can open, but it is just put some nasal spray up my nose. My polyps are a bit bad at the moment for some reason. Back to the doctors on Monday for another trip. Oh, I've got to tell you about the doctors in a bit. Anyway, we're on the Budweiser Prohibition. Alcohol free. Quite nice that. Nice and cold. Nice and refreshing. Yep, health update. I went for my warfarin check, you know, for the INR level of my blood, thickness of my blood, and it was 2.6. She's really happy. Now, the time before last, when I went, the night before, I had some marinated garlic chicken. Loads of spice and marination on it. And goes in there and she goes, this was the time before this time. She went, have you been eating garlic? I said, yeah, well, last night we had quite a bit of garlic chicken. And she said, God, she said, I can really, really smell it. She said, but don't matter because I like garlic. So that was a bonus. But, you know, I said, well, clean my teeth. I've had a shower. Clean my teeth. She says, well, no, I still smell it. So anyway, didn't have any garlic the night before. And we went. And she went, not seen me for 4 or 5 weeks now. So she goes in, she says, yeah, all right, yeah, the usual chat. And then she went, have you lost weight? I went, well, you know, I am eating a lot less than I used to do. Yeah, I have lost a bit, I think. She says, well, you can tell a difference. Excuse me. You can tell a difference from 4 weeks ago. You've definitely lost some weight. And you're looking good. Keep it going. So, what's our little spring in my step? Long time since I've had a spring in my step. Anyway, let's get on to the figures. Last week, as we know, or as any of you will know if you watched last week's show or listened to last week's show without falling asleep, we did 3,746 last week. Absolute brilliant week. And I said, well, next week's probably going to be crap. Well, it wasn't crap, but it wasn't as good as that, you know. So this week we did 2,830. So I'm really, really happy with that. But I am more happy with the monthly total and the 90 days total. Last week, our monthly total, you know, the last 31 days, basically, was at 12,100. We've never been there before. I think the highest I've ever done is 10,300, something like that. A couple of times, 10,400 over the years, last couple of years. Usually sort of like we've been fluctuating between 8 and 10 most months prior to me going in hospital. So the last 31 days were 12,100, but this week they're at 13,089, so some lower days must have dropped off, and some of these days that have gone on are better. So we're plus £989 on the 31 days, running 31 day total. The 90-day total, last week we broke the £30,000 barrier. Now, again, that has never happened before. We've never done 30,000 consistently, 10 grand a month on a 3-month run. This week, that's up to 31,584. So plus 1422 over the 90 days. So I'm happy with that. Seems to be going in the right direction. There's still a long way to go. Last week would have been really a good average week for what I want and what Edward wants. But we knew it was a flash in the pan. We knew it was a one-off. You know, we knew that our figures at the moment seem to be fluctuating between £2,000 and £2,800. We're having the odd week at 1,500. I think we've had one in the last 13. Every other week's been over 2 grand, and sort of like topped out at 2.8. We've had a couple of 2.8s. We've had a couple of 3,000. We had a 3,100 and 3,700. So it was sort of like our mean figures, probably about 2.5 to 2.7 a week, something like that at the moment. Listed stock. Last week we had £368,769 worth listed at retail. This week we have got 375,647, so that's 6,878 has gone on net at retail. But obviously we've had 2,830 sales, so you add that to the 6,878 and you get £9,708 worth of stock has been listed over the 7 days. So over £1,000 a day has been put on, probably about 1,300 a day. And we have 48,263 items listed. The stats are showing that we sold 195 items last week. That's actual items. We'll have had less. Must have missed a bit there, what a shame. Right. Yeah, so we sold 195 items, but that'll be on considerably less transactions because a lot of our sales are multi-quantity sales. People buy 3 or 4 of something quite often. You know, every other sale seems to be more than one item. So that gives us an average item price of £14.51, but probably not an average transaction price. I need to work that out for next time, what the average transaction price is. But that's immaterial because the stock that we buy, it's quite low cost because we buy it in bulk and then split it down into individual items. So, you know, sometimes it can cost us pennies for items, other times it can cost us a couple of quid. But even on a decent military badge, we never seem to spend more than 3 or 4 quid on an item when you average it over 1,000 items that you buy that week. So, we are 49% up on the same period last year, which I'm quite pleased about, considering there's been a big break. Edward was off February and March, and I was off April and May because of obviously the hospital and what have you. So we're still 49% up. We managed to catch up and we managed to get ahead. And we're 36% up on the 31 days previous to this. So everything's in the positive there, nothing's in the negative. So that's it. Yeah, it's not been a bad week. I hope everybody else is improving. I noticed, I watched the here before, I think his takings have gone up a bit this week. He seems to feel like he's turned a corner with it. I've not really watched anyone else's figures because I have been busy. And I don't listen to or watch too many YouTubers these days because I don't really have the time, you know. It's got to be something I can listen to. It's no good me watching a haul video, listen to a haul video, or listen to a video with live chat because I've got to keep changing screens and stuff, and it upsets the flow of the work. Right, so we will do Churchill Does Rock. Yes. So, got a couple of lines of a very famous song. One of Winston's favourites, this. If you could time travel. Tonight, there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. See me and the boys, we don't like it. So we're going up, we're going down, hiding low, looking right to left. If you see us coming, I think it's best to move away. Do you hear what I say? From under my breath. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. Right, so, of course, old Winston there was only reading Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak, which has probably one of the crappiest opening lyrics ever written in the history of music, even though I do like Thin Lizzy. Phil Lynott, Lynott. They did a song, The Boys Are Back in Town, which was his mother, Phil Lynott's mother, used to have a pub in Moss Side called the Wally Range. Was it the Wally Arms or the Wally Range? It's just sort of like between Wally Range and Moss Side. And all the local gangsters were regulars in there. And there's a crew of gangsters in Manchester from those days called the Quality Street Gang. And nobody really ever got prosecuted from the Quality Street Gang, and a lot of the members' identities are shrouded in mystery unless you're in the know. But they were quite famous. They're called the Quality Street Gang. And Phil Lynnott's mother was quite well known in the area, and she used to hang around with quite a lot of the old gangsters. And the song The Boys Are Back in Town, if ever you've heard it, which you must have done, it's a very famous song, is based on these guys. And they also did a song called Jimmy the Weed. Was it Jimmy the Weed? Yeah, Jimmy the Weed, who was a famous Manchester gangster from the 1960s. I think it was Jimmy O'Donnell, I think he is. Jimmy the Weed. Anyway. So, Thin Lizzy, jailbreak, opening lyrics. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. Somewhere in this town. Well, let me guess. Where could that possibly be? Where would there be a jailbreak in the town? Somewhere in the town there's going to be a jailbreak. Let me guess. In a jail? Probably. So, it's not somewhere, is it? It's in the jail. But anyway, never mind. Right, so, without further ado, I've been having a bit of a think about best offer. I know a lot of people use best offer, but is it a good thing to use best offer, or isn't it? And do any of you analyse the results you would get with best offer or without best offer? Because without best offer, obviously your items are going to sell for more money, but they may not sell as many, if you believe what eBay tell you. But that's open to discussion. With best offer, you might sell more items, but you might not make as much money because you end up underselling items just to get the stock going. So here's my personal take on it. I think I've got one item on best offer. I don't rate it. I never have, and I never will. And there's one big reason for this. It's not the fact that the customers give you offers and all that lot, because I get plenty of people giving me offers even though I don't have best offer, because they message me. I don't know, you can set up auto decline and auto accept. We'll go through all that in a minute. But the reason I don't like it is because I come from a retail background. And I come from a sales background. Prior to being a taxi driver and a retail manager, I was a salesman. And I used to sell fitted kitchens. So I would go out to a customer's house, I would measure the house, I would design the kitchen, plan it up in their house, and try and get a sale. The worst thing I could do as a salesman is delay a buying decision. The quicker you can get somebody to agree to buy something and put a deposit down or pay for it, the better. And I think that best offer without auto decline, I will stress, delays the buying decision. If you're looking on eBay and you're looking at something, say it's I don't know, whatever, it could be anything. Say it's a TV and it's got best offer, second-hand TV, say, and it's got £100 or best offer. Now you've come on, you've got a budget of £100, you see it, you like it, but you see this best offer, so you think, oh, well, might as well have a cheeky offer, you know, who's going to take less? So you slap him with an £80 offer. The seller may not see that message straight away. They might be on a night out, they might be in bed, they could be having a tea, anything could be happening. Meanwhile, the customer who's waiting for an answer on that offer is still looking through eBay. And he sees another one with no best offer for £95 and he thinks, well, I'll buy that. So, best offer can delay the buying decision, which may be one of the reasons why a lot of people who I do listen to, like Scavenge Life, etc., accept offers and then end up with non-payers or people just cancelling or never getting in touch or whatever. There seems to be more unpaid item cases with best offer than the other one. Now people say that that's because you can't require immediate payment, but I think it's more because they've got time to look around, buy something else, see something better, and your history. Now, a lot of people come back and say, well, yeah, but I can put auto decline or auto accept. Well, say you've got something for £100 and you will accept 80 and you put an auto accept of 80. Why not just list it for 80? Surely that would be a more competitive price. That's the one you're willing to take anyway. You'd be happy with that. It'd be a more competitive price, which in theory you think it would sell faster. Just list it for 80. And also I think with the auto decline, a lot of these buyers probably will put the offer in and it just goes, nope, nope, you can't have it. So it's like, oh, that bastard, he won't take me offer. Just fucking flirted a big answer back at me there. No, gone. So it could alienate the buyers to some degree. So these are the reasons why I don't do best offer. Also, once you've become an established seller and you sell a certain range of products, like we do, you gain a knowledge of those products. So, when I put a set price on something, the customers can see from my solds, there's plenty of stuff selling. There's a way of masking that now, where people can't see what you've sold, but I'm not going to do that. I've come to the decision I'm not going to do that. It gives them an illusion of confidence in me as a seller, because they think, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, he's selling X amount of items a month, They're going for this price, this is what they must be worth. Now I've also noticed, this is one of the reasons when I did try Best Offer, I got out of it, but I still get this in messages now. There is a lot of lowball offers out there, and they seem to be doing it as a sort of like spamming routine, I think, where basically they offer you 50% or less, and then they hit you, one to the guts, 50%, and then little one there, free postage, including postage. So basically, if postage works out at 10% roughly of your selling expenses over a year, they want the item for 40%, don't they? Rather than 50. And they hit you with a double whammy. There seems to be a lot of this going on. I blame Bargain Hunt on TV and programmes like that. Because if you look on Bargain Hunt, they go out with the expert, don't they, around the antiques fair. This bloke's got a lovely statue there, Mine isn't lovely here, but just say like him here. Lincoln Imp. Oh yeah, got a lovely antique brass Lincoln Imp here. Fancy Myth and Magic. One of the gargoyles of Lincoln Cathedral. People love this guy, supposed to be mystical, blah de blah de blah. That's what the expert's saying. The dealer's got it marked up for 50 quid. They go to the dealer and say, you take 20 for it? And the dealer goes, well, yeah, I'll tell you what, I can do 25. That, I can categorically tell you, I've been to more antiques fairs than bloody Arthur Negus. Does not happen in antique fairs. You will not get 50% off an item. Very, very, very rarely. Unless you're buying a massive bulk of the stall. Because it's ridiculous. But on the World of Bargain Hunt, this happens all the time. Antiques Road Trip as well. They go into an antique centre, they're buying £100 items for 20 quid. It's ridiculous. The whole premise is a load of bollocks. But this is sort of like ingrained into people that all us sellers of antiques and collectible items are sort of like overvaluing stuff deliberately so that they can knock it down and it's just a big game. But you will not get that at an antiques fair. Me and my mate go quite often, just for a little trip, to an antiques fair or an antique centre. Take, for example, where we live, it's a massive antique centre called Bygone Times. It's massive. It's an old mill. Really, really big. Probably 1,000 stalls in there, probably. Over several floors. Now, the standard there is any item over £20 is a trade discount of 10%. Unless it says NT on the ticket, which means no trade. That's it. 10% is the maximum you're going to get off, and it's got to be an item over £20. So when somebody on eBay starts knocking you down on £10 items for £4 and £1 postage, it's a joke. And this is one of the reasons, again, why I don't like Best Offer. But we still get the low ballers, even without Best Offer, but they're fewer and further between. Now the low ballers seem to use a routine that one of my mates used to use years ago. But he didn't use it with prices, he used it with women. He'd go out into a nightclub, the one we used to go to, when we used to think we were, it wasn't the Hacienda or anything like that, because I lived up here in Rosendale, where men are men and sheep are nervous, as I've probably told you before. So we used to go to Accrington, and there used to be a club there in the 80s called La-di-Dars. It was all very Brian Ferry and New Romantics and that sort of stuff. Nice little club. We used to go upstairs to it. There was a conservatory in it, and that little cool conservatory. They had a dress code. I mean, not like it is now. It was like you had to wear a shirt and tie, because it was the new romantic era. Everyone had to be smart. In the summer they would let you wear a short sleeve shirt, but in winter it had to be a long sleeve shirt. It was one of them sort of like poncy places at the time, but it was always busy. The Christmas party there, New Year's party, great. Now my mate used to go regular with us, and he would always cop, every time. I look around and he was gone. Usually partaking in some sort of sexual adventure in the covered market, which was just round the corner, apparently. Yeah, so he always cop, but he would be relentless. From the minute he went into that club, he was like a tiger hunting down prey. He would talk to every girl. He would chat up every girl. Most of them would ignore him, but somewhere along the line, by the law of averages, somebody would relent. Whether through copious amounts of alcohol, his smooth talk, or his boyish good looks, I don't know. But he didn't have a good success ratio if you counted on the number of people he spoke to, but on the number of nights he went out, he had a fantastic success ratio. A lot better than mine, because I was shy them days. I was just a shy boy. Why you gonna cry, boy? 'Cause you're too shy. Hush, hush, I know why. You're too shy. Hush, hush, don't die. Right, so, yeah. The lowballer, the nightclub crawler, exactly the same sort of person. What's the cost of a lower offer? You've got to, if you are prepared to take best offer, you always want to be in profit. That's a given. I'll take it that you all know the difference between gross and net. You know what your costs are. Da-di-da-di-da. But there's no point in having 20% more sales if the items are selling for 50% less. It's got to balance out. If you get 20% more sales, you want your revenue probably to drop by 10 to 15%, and then you're making a 5% gain by that 20% of extra sales. There's no point. One's got to always outweigh the other. You know, the price, if the sales increase, the price has got to drop at a lower rate than what the sales are increasing. Otherwise, it becomes a pointless exercise. And we were always taught when we were selling kitchens, there was an acronym that we used to use. It was called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, which you've probably heard loads of times. And that's how we used to deal with things. We used to talk to the customers, keep it simple, and reel them in and get a deposit. None of this over complicating a very, very simple process. You've got a customer who wants to buy something, you've got a salesman who wants to sell something. If the salesman can accommodate the customer at the right price and give the customer what he wants, a deal will ensue. And we also had the similar sort of thing when I was a taxi driver. Believe it or not, I've got an MVQ level 1 in taxi driving, which is absolutely ridiculous. I've been taxi driving for 20 years, and I had to go and do an MVQ, which is another of these council box ticking exercises. So they can all say, oh, well, all our drivers are all MVQ level 1. Oh, well, jolly good show. Most of them have been doing it for 30 years anyway. The trouble is most of the customers aren't MVQ level 1 on how to behave in somebody else's car. They're sort of like level 10 remedial class, where they're getting in and puking in your car, leaving fingernails, leaving tablets, dropping the knife on the floor, peeing on your seats, puking up, trying to get in with a drink, all the other different things that they used to get up to. I'm so glad I'm out of that business. In fact, it's fair to say I would rather go and spend time in jail than being a taxi driver. Somebody said to me now, you've either got to do a night on the taxis or a week in jail. A week in jail would win every time. Because I'd be locked to myself 23 hours a day, could just lie down there, have a good kip, get a bit of exercise, all my meals made for me, and hopefully try not to be sexually assaulted by my cellmate. But apart from that, you know, be alright, won't it? Yeah. So, pretty much the way I look at it, we've got the best offer out of the way. That's why I don't take best offer. That's why I would never put it on now. I think I've got it on one item. I don't know why it's on there. I think Edward's put it on. It's on a very expensive item anyway. But keeping it simple, stupid. If you look at selling on eBay, it's a little bit like making a meal, right? First of all, before you make a meal, you need a recipe, don't you? Family recipe or 1 hour book. So the eBay recipe would be to find items that sell, that you're interested in, and to work out the quantity of those items that you need to bring in the required amount of income that you need to live on. So obviously that's your recipe. You need to find what to sell, how to sell it, and how much you need to make the money that you need. Because some items sell faster than others, but some of the faster seller items might have a lower profit, so you might have to sell more of them. Some of the slower selling items might have more profit, so you have to sell less of them, but you might have to stock more of them because they don't sell as quickly. So you need to work that out. That's the first thing you need to work out, is to calculate the sales you need and the profit you need from those sales to achieve the money that you need. So you need to calculate the sell-through rate of any item that you are thinking of stocking. So you could easily do that off sold listings, couldn't you, by looking how much is listed and then going into the solds and dividing it by 3, and that'll give you the monthly sell-through of that item. So once you know the sell-through rate, say the sell-through rate is 10% a month, and you need a certain amount of money, you need to work out then that you'll need 10 times as much stock of that value. So say like you need £1,000 a month, and you know that it's going to take £2,500 worth of sales or £2,000 worth of sales to get that. The item sells for £10, so you need 200 items a month to sell. At £10, 10 times 200 is 2,000. So you need to sell 50 items a week. The sell-through rate is 10% a month. So you would need to have 2,000 items listed, wouldn't you? 2,000 items listed with a 10% sell-through rate would give you 200 sales a month on average. At £10 a month would give you 2,000. You take your costs off, you've got £1,000. It's pretty simple. So you need to work out that, bearing in mind of what you sell. If you get down to the level of stuff that we sell, where it's got like a 3% sell-through rate a month, obviously you need a hell of a lot more stock, because everything's individual, you know. I mean, these usually sell pretty quick. Anything to do with the Lincoln Imp usually sells pretty quick. But that could be on for 2 years. But that's why I only paid like £1 for it or whatever. What did I pay for it? No, I paid about £3 for that. It was as part of a deal. So it's £3 and I'll sell that for 30 or 40. So it's like 10 times my money, but I might have to wait a lot longer than somebody who sells something fast moving. But I do have other items that sell faster. So you got your recipe, you got it sussed, you know what you need to sell, you know how much you need to sell, you know how much you need to hold in stock. Then you need your ingredients, don't you? Well, your 2 ingredients, one comes from the other, or one becomes the other, is cash. your cash to buy the stock to start you off. And you need stock. Stock is the ingredient. You've got your recipe, you know what you're going to be selling, you get your stock. Job's done. Well, no, it isn't, because you've got to cook it, haven't you? Now, the cooking part is the process. Now, a lot of people don't take into account everything that needs to be done with stock when you get it in. First of all, we get it in. We give it a visual check to make sure there's no damage, that it is actually sellable, yeah? Because you don't always spot it when you buy it. Now, this guy's got a little bit of verdigris on him there in the corners. Now, I've got to make a decision. Do I leave that on? Which I probably will, because it's got that aged patina, and if somebody wants to clean it, they can do. Some of that will be polish residue. So I might just give it a quick wet wipe over to get the nooks and crannies, just a little bit of the excess off. So, first of all, I've got to do a visual inspection and a clean. Then I've got to photograph it. Then I've got to store it, and I've got to put an SKU on it so I know where it is when it sells 2 years down the line. Then I've got to pack it, then I've got to post it, and then if there's any problems, I've got to deal with the after sales. So there's quite a process. That's your cooking. And the finished meal, hopefully, is the cash, the spondoolies, the moolah, the bida bada bing. It goes into your PayPal accounts and then gets transferred into your bank account as wages. So, first of all, work out your recipe. Then, get your ingredients. Now, the first ingredient you need is obviously cash, or money, or access to funds to start off. Now, there's one thing that you do have to take into account with this, is that if you're trying to grow a business, if you start your business with, I don't know where my wallet is, but whatever's in my wallet, I can't even know where it is. Where is it? Where's my wallet gone? Oh, bit of a panic, can't find my wallet. Anyway, it'll be in here somewhere. I've not been anywhere. I don't know what I've done with it. But I'm not going to do a video for 3/4 of an hour looking for my wallet. I'll find that in a bit. But say you start off with 100 quid out of your wallet. That's what you've got to start with. But 100 quid is not a large enough ingredient to buy enough items for you to make your monthly wage, because it's the starting of the process. It's the first step on the ladder of that process. You need to build the stock up to a certain level to give you a certain wage. So we work on the principle of always buying more than we sell at the moment. One day it'll flatten out nicely, but until that happens, well, it's not in there. Until that happens, oh, there it is. It's right. I'm looking at it. Yeah. So, you know, you get your money out. A little bit more in the last week, isn't they? Because I might go car boot on Sunday. So, anyway, as I was saying, say you start off with £100, and you can quite easily turn a £1 item into a £10 item. So with your £100, you buy 100 items. 100 items at £10 an item is £1,000. But you need to take £2,000 to earn £1,000. So, to take £2,000, we've already worked out you need 2,000 items on the sell-through rate that we calculated before. So it's going to take time to build that up. But it's no good that you put your 100 items on a 10% sell-through rate for the month, you sell 10 of them, which would give you £100. You would need to really put that as much of that back in as possible to get a growth. That's what I'm saying, to start the growth off. So you'd probably need to, every time you sold one item, you need to replace it with two. So if you were running on a cost of £1 an item, really, when it's sold, it's £2 that you need to be putting away for stock. So it'd be like 20% of your takings. Now, if you're turning £2 items into £10 items on a 5-to-1 basis, which is roughly what we do across the board, 5-6 to 1, you would have to be spending £4 of the £10 to grow the stock to eventually make the money, because otherwise you're just going to end up every month spending your £100 on the stock, turn it into £1,000, taking your fees off, and ended up with 400 quid or something. So for growth, you've got to always take into account the fact that, you know, you're not just replenishing, you need to spend more on stock. Now, I was going to mention last week, and I forgot about this, of using a credit card to buy stock. Now, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have a credit card, I would never use a credit card. But they can be a very, very useful tool. All through building up our business, I've borrowed but I've always paid it back. I've borrowed through PayPal working capital, through bank loans, etc., etc., to build the business up. But I always made sure that my liabilities are no more than 10% of my listed stock's retail value. So if I had £500,000 worth listed, I would never be in debt for more than 50,000, but we won't even be in debt by the time that we get up to that anyway. We've got the stock here, and our debts are coming down. So I have two credit cards. One of them at the moment is clear. They were both clear a few weeks ago, but I used one of them for the auction. For the simple reason that the credit card statement came in on the 23rd, and I had a zero balance. It's clear. I clear it every month, or most. Sometimes it might take me 2 months or 3 months to clear it, but I always clear it. But that is my stock buying card. That's all I use it for. So while that card's got a balance on it, I'm not looking for stock, basically. So the statement comes out on the 23rd. I owe nothing. On the 24th, I go to an auction and spend £4,000. I put it on my credit card. My next bill will probably have come in today with the 4,000 on, but there will be no interest because I have got up to the 23rd of September to pay that. So from the 24th of July to the 23rd of September, that £4,000 is costing me nothing. If I only pay half of it when it's due in September, I'll get charged interest on what's left the following month. But if I clear it, I will pay no interest. So basically, to me, that's bought me 7 weeks of interest-free credit. Now, if I can get that stock listed before the bill's due, 9 times out of 10, the sales from that stock will pay the bill. Once the bill is paid, which I anticipate this time, I've probably got half of the money now, easily. And we've got money in our bank to cover direct debits now all the way up to November the 15th. So we're well in front. We make sure we're in front. The VAT money's put away every week. I pay my fees on a nightly basis on eBay. Obviously all the PayPal fees go out at source. So even if I can't clear that 4,000, say I only pay 2,000 off, I will owe 2,000. I'll get charged 1 month's interest on that 2,000, and then the month after I clear the £2,000 off, my card is clear, then I'm ready to go again. Then I'll be looking then for some big stock lots, But in the meantime, I've got to list all this stock that I've bought to boost the inventory, to get the takings up, to pay the card, and obviously to give us a bit of extra money as well. And that's the key to it. It's great, but you've got to work fast and you've got to work hard. Otherwise you'll be paying interest month after month after month, and you'll never get in front. It's a bit like being a perpetual PayPal working capital borrower. We're on our last working capital. I know I said the last one was the last, but this one definitely is the last. We don't need another one. In fact, most of the time now, even though we're paying a working capital back, we're generating enough money to buy stock without it. It's, you know, we spent the majority of it on stock, but we can still generate money now, even though we're paying that back. Yeah, so maybe for some of you, to get a credit card may be a good idea and use it. Just keep it solely for stock. Like I say, I have two. The other one I have for car repairs and anything that's going to go wrong with the car or emergencies. That's all it gets used for. That's empty. There's nothing owing on it. In fact, they owe me 500 quid at the moment because I've overpaid on it. And then I have my bank account, and because of the money that we have moving through our bank account, I have an £8,500 overdraft facility, which I have never used, but it's there if I need it. If a super duper lop came up now, that was, oh God, again, it's 2 weeks on a row we've had a ka-ching while I've been talking. Not gonna look. Lincoln Imp sat on top of it. Perhaps that phone went ka-ching then. My phone went ka-ching. I heard it. Oh, look at that. And that was what was sat on top of it. The old Lincoln Imp working its magic powers. Move over, spooky girl. There's a new boy in town. Right. So, it can be useful. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, people get hung up on debt, but there are two types of debt. There's consumer debt and there's business debt. Consumer debt is like, I fancy another car. My car outside, I own it, it's paid for. Paid for it out of my working capital, like, but it's still paid for. I still own it. I can still flog it if I want. I'm not going to get it repossessed or anything like that. It's sat outside, it's paid for. It's taxed, it's insured, everything's done. So there's consumer debt. Oh, I fancy, you know, I've got good money coming in now. I fancy one of them new Merc C-Class coupes. Get myself down to Mercedes-Benz, sign up, and get one or never never. You know, I could do that. That would be consumer debt. Business debt, I'm borrowing money. I'm buying old Impy here, but I'm going to sell him for a profit. So the cost of the interest to borrow him, as long as it's far outweighed by the profits, is immaterial. Every business borrows. Should be no problem. The problem comes when you borrow the money and you either spend it on consumer items, which is a no-no, it's a business loan, you know, or you treat it as a business loan, or you use your credit card to buy the stock and then you never list it. It can't sell if it isn't listed, can it? But used wisely, it can be very, very good. Now, there's another thing that we're thinking about doing in our future plans. eBay is always going to be the forefront of our business. You know, we're always going to be on the eBay, as long as eBay's about, of course. But we are seriously thinking now of branching out into an EKM power shop. For the cost, and for the opportunity to list things on there that we can't list on eBay. Obviously we're not going to list illegal things, but certain things that you can list legally, that you're not allowed to list on eBay, can go on there. Plus also we can import our whole eBay catalogue. And apart from the merchant fees for credit card payments and the monthly fee for the EKM Power Store, which I think is about £70 a month for an unlimited size store, it's free. There's no final value fees, there's no listing fees, and you've got a backup with a company that's local, based in Preston. They were in Blackburn, but they moved to Preston now. And the guy who did EKM Power Shop, a mate of mine knows him, and this guy who did EKM Power Shop is completely self-made. He's probably in his 40s now, but he started off in his mum's back bedroom, and he spent 2 years on the dole inventing EKM Power Shop, and then he started his own business, and they employ a couple hundred people probably now. It's a massive office, but you've got all the backup. So that's probably what we're going to do. We're probably going to go into an EKM Power Shop in the next few months and push some of the stock on there and see what happens with Google placements or what have you. What I have noticed with Google, like now I do a lot of my research through Google Images, and when you look on there now, you put anything into Google, eBay's gone right back up there. There was a time when Google and eBay fell out, but it seems to have changed now. There's a site called Piclick, but now all the stuff that's on Piclick that you'll see come up in Google Images is all ex-eBay items. It's all eBay. There's other people on there as well, but it all takes you back to an eBay store in the end. And then there's obviously all the eBay listings. In the collectible side that I'm in, I don't think you can beat eBay. It's the number of Google images as opposed to an Etsy image. For the stuff I sell, is probably 50 to 1. So there's a couple of military websites on there as well that show up. So I'm hoping with the EKM Power Shop that I'll get seen in Google Images, but also there's nothing to stop me putting an invoice in with the stock that I send with my EKM Power Shop address on the top to get people going over to there as well. But I'm thinking of new customers. You know, not everybody uses eBay, even though they do have 168 million users worldwide. Hopefully get a few extra sales, and let's see what happens. Let's try it out. I mean, there's a lot of big businesses on that EKM Power Shop, and they've been on it for years, so it can't be a failure. And you know, the way we work, we won't let it fail. So that's probably what we're going to do, is go on to an EKM Power Shop. But we're still, eBay, it will be the hub of it, and then we can develop that on the side. As long as we can easily import the stock into it, that's the main thing that we need to get into. So we've done the John Cooper Clark. Let's do what happened. Because I've not done this for a few weeks, have I? What happened? Got an itch. What happened on this day, all the different years? No, I never knew this. 1958, the Chinese Civil War. The Second Taiwan Strait Crisis begins with the People's Liberation Army bombardment of Quemoy. So there you go. 1973, a bank robbery gone wrong in Stockholm, Sweden turns into a hostage crisis. Over the next 5 days, the hostage begins to sympathise with their captors, leading to the term Stockholm Syndrome. So they spent so much time... Sorry, my allergies are really bad today. They spent so much time with their captors that they started to feel sorry for them and sympathise with the robbers. And that's what's known as the Stockholm Syndrome, which has been quoted since there, and that's what it's based on. A robbery in a bank in Stockholm on this day in 1973. So let's have a look at the births. There's loads of births here, loads of them. Let's try and find somebody a little bit more current than 1464, shall we? Let's have a look. Somebody I recognise here. Is there anybody? I can't see anybody here that I know. Keith Tyson, never heard of him. Oh God, oh, I'm going to struggle here, I'm going to struggle. Oh, River Phoenix, the actor, died a few years ago. He was born on this day. And who else have we got? Glenn Johnson, English footballer. He used to play for Liverpool, born in 1984 on this day. Trying to see if we can find somebody else. Oh, we're not doing very well. There's not many here that are jumping out on me. Oh, here we are. Rick Springfield, Australian-American singer, songwriter, guitarist and actor. So, that's what happened on this day. And now we're going to finish, after my long rambling eBay recipe, Churchill does Thin Lizzy, decent set of figures, how to get yourself into debt to make money. What else have we done? Oh yeah, why I think Best of Us is best bollocks. You know, don't take what I say to heart. It's just my opinion. Not that my opinion matters for much, but I think after 5 years, we're not doing too bad. So, you know, there may be a little gem in there that you can use. Most of it will be bollocks, but there might be a little gem in there if you're lucky. Oh, we're not on eBay rules. God, what was the chance of that? Because it's on lottery and chance listings. Forgot about that. See how I get distracted? It's ever since I started watching ads. You know, I've got worse. So, the chance listings policy. So for all you wannabe casino operators out there, let's get in on the chance. What's the chance of me drinking this and not belching in the 10 minutes? Probably even money, isn't it? Right. God, it's repeating on me already. Chance listings policies, giveaways, lotteries, sweepstakes, random drawings, raffles, and contents are all highly regulated. Therefore, we don't allow listings on products that sell an opportunity to win an item or a prize, whether that's by chance or in a contest. However, including a bonus item in your listing, for example selling an iPhone and including a free phone cover, like a free gift, is allowed as long as it meets our selling requirements. I've seen eBay running contests and giveaways, so why can't I? Well, sometimes we and our approved partners will run contests or giveaways on eBay that follow all applicable laws. Obviously, there's gambling laws involved here. However, seller listings of products that promote giveaways, lotteries, sweepstakes, random drawings, raffles, or contests aren't allowed. Can I sell raffle tickets on eBay? You can't sell any items that offer the opportunity to win a prize. So raffle tickets aren't allowed on eBay. So, this is the full policy. Chance listings policy overview. eBay does not permit listings or products that promote giveaways, lotteries or raffles, as these promotions are highly regulated and may be illegal under UK or Irish law. eBay may run such promotions on the sites and may grant authorization to its partners or third-party companies to run promotions that comply with the applicable laws. Make sure your listings follow these guidelines. I did it again. Guidelines. Turn into Manuel from Faulty Towers. If they don't, they may be removed, and you may be subject to a range of other actions, including listing fees not being refunded, and limits of your buying and selling privileges. Again, Pulp Fiction. What are the guidelines? Allowed in some situations. Bonus items are allowed as long as you follow these rules. So listen to these rules. Write down these rules. chisel them in a stone tablet, and heed these rules. Don't set any conditions that must be met before the bonus applies. Offer the exact same bonus to all buyers in multiple item listings. So that means you can't, like, say, you know, free bottle of lube with your sex doll, but only give it to one. You've got to give it to all of them. So all the pervs have got to get the lube. Comprende? Don't know why I always use sex doll as the anecdote for that, but I always seem to gravitate towards sex dolls. Right. Bonuses, free gifts and other items that don't significantly affect the value of the item may not be included in the listing title. So that could be like free packet of crisps with a free bag of air. You know, who wants a bag of air? Unless you go to the moon or something. You know, you don't really need one, do you? So, you know, it's things like that. So you can't put something, sell something good and put something really shit with it. Grab bags can be listed as long as you follow these rules. Identify all the contents. The number, quality or condition of each item doesn't need to be identified. So you've just got to identify all the quality. So you've got a grab bag, it's got 3 lipstick, 2 mascara, a pair of Chinese love eggs, and a leather bondage strap, which you can't sell. All the love eggs. All the makeup is used, so forget the grab bag, throw it away. Don't listen to me, what am I talking about? Don't single out anything that may be included with significant monetary or collectible value. So in other words, it's like, you know, oh yeah, mystery grab bag contains a Fabergé egg. Get the price up a bit, you know. And then they open it and there's 1 Fabergé egg and 4 Kinder Surprises. Can't do it. Box breaks or similar trading card listings are allowed as long as you follow these rules. So I presume that's people like who break up Magic the Gathering and that. Don't call out a chance to win a specific card of significant monetary or collectible value. So you could do a listing, Magic the Gathering, we're breaking a box, random cards. But you can't say in there that there's some super duper card and you might get it. You can't do that. You must offer a full refund if the box doesn't contain a certain team or player the buyer purchased. So again, if it's you're breaking up a box of football cards and you've led them to believe that they are all Arsenal players, and then you send them like John Terry or someone, you can't have it. Or Ryan Giggs, you know, someone like that. You've got to be what you say it is. Not allowed. Now this is the one that people keep going on about. Mystery boxes. People on eBay sell mystery boxes, but they are actually against eBay rules. Mystery items where the contents are identified. So if I just pick up, this is my problem bag at the moment, it's all stuff that I can't identify, a little bit dodgy, can't be listed on eBay, like that police badge there, you know, stuff that I'm not sure about, all random or broke stuff. Well, that's going to be build up. It builds up and builds up, and then we sell them as junk draw lots, and we lay it all out, and people make their own decision. But if I put that in a black bag and went, oh, big bag of collectibles, can't do that. It's illegal. You're misrepresenting the item. You're potentially conning the customer. Not allowed an opportunity to win an item by chance and skill. You know. Guess what colour I'm thinking about. And if you guess the same colour that I'm thinking about, you can have my Ferrari. What have you guessed? Red. No, sorry, it's purple. Too late. You always remember that. that Chevy Chase film where they go and he loses all his money gambling, and he's got a lot of, like, one last lot of money, and he goes in that real crap casino, and there's a bloke there, and he goes, guess the number, and there's just a bloke stood there, and he's looking at him, he's going, 12th, not 13. Sorry, you lost. Not allowed. Giveaways, lotteries, sweepstakes, random draws, raffles, or contests. Reminds me of a Bernard Manning joke, that, about a Jewish fella wanting to win a sweepstake. But I won't tell it because there might be some snowflakes in the audience. It's not in the slightest bit racist, but Jewish people always tell jokes about themselves, and I'm not Jewish, so I'm not going to tell it yet. So we'll leave it at that. So I hope everybody else has had a good week. I hope sales are improving. Now is the time to be listing. Get that stock on. Do what I do. Don't be a floater. Yeah. Keep your impish sense of humour. And if you're short of money for stock, get your wallet out and bust out the cards. So good night, good luck, farewell, and more than anything, keep smiling.